Hello and welcome to Chatterbox, a show where we review and discuss the latest film and TV. My name is Toby Pope and today I'm joined by Luke Walsh and Emily Hill. Now, we will be talking about Amazon Prime's Grand Tour and Netflix's new show, The Crown. So I believe we'll start on the Grand Tour and we can play a quick clip for the audience.
Is your door broken?
No, I'm broken. Can you hold the door for me?
Have you seriously broken your arm?
Well, he's fractured.
Which arm have you broken?
We're going on a road trip in very exotic cars.
Grand touring.
Come on, how does it look to him?
That's to release it, you muppet!
Now, of course, the Grand Tour is quite heavily based on the previous show, Top Gear, which unfortunately, after being cancelled because of Jeremy Clarkson's slight fracas, they've now been put into the show. And what do you think of it to begin with? What do you feel?
I mean, oh my God. I mean, it's so when they brought back Top Gear with Chris Evans, Matt LeBlanc, Eddie Jordan, Tabine Schmidt, Chris Harris, you think, and the episodes that they did, it was too technical. It was too mechanical and it was too much. And the chemistry between Clark's, the chemistry, it was gone. And it really, it was noticeable.
Yeah.
So to see them back in the Grand Tour, the opening sequence, showing Clarkson leaving the BBC, and the sequence ends as he enters into California, and he's joined by Hammond and May. That's just one of the greatest sights I've ever seen. The relief and joy that brings me. And then for the rest of the show, they milk about not being fired, and just so the little bits. You know what, I'm speechless. I love it. 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 I love it.
You can't deny that it is a bit of a rip-off, to be honest with you. They've taken that almost joke that he got fired. He punched someone. That's not a good thing. You know, it's not something to joke about. I'm sure the guy who got punched was not happy that he got punched. You know, so, for example, the advert for Amazon Prime itself is Jeremy Clarkson making jokes about the fact that he got fired. And if it was a case of he wasn't doing that well, he wasn't getting in the ratings, he got fired, then you can make jokes like that. But when you have committed a crime, because he assaulted that guy, it's not really something to joke about. And I think kind of Amazon Prime have taken it as, you know, just something to be funny. And that's kind of, in my opinion, put a bad spin on the Grand Tour. And I think that's why I'm not so keen to be open to it. However, I can agree with you that the charisma and the personality and, you know, the chemistry between the three presenters is missing on Top Gear and is present on the Grand Tour because they have been doing it for so long. I'm not quite sure when Top Gear started, but it's been years, hasn't it?
A long time.
So they've obviously gained a friendship, and that you can see when they work together. So you couldn't have had the two that weren't fired, Hammond and May. You couldn't have had them working with, say, Chris Evans. It has to be the three of them. And Amazon Prime, fair to them. You know, they've taken this idea and they've thought, actually, we can make some money out of this. And they've got a massive budget, don't they?
And they use it so well. I mean,
I was going to ask, like, do you really feel like that budget's being used? Because it's the highest budget of any series on TV to date. Do you feel like that's being used?
It looks
well?
like it is a masterpiece.
But they're literally blowing up the money. You know, they're doing explosions and all this amazing stuff. But really,
It's funny.
is it worth that kind of money though?
Yes.
I think.
And to see it shot in such beautiful, like, camera quality, and the locations, like in California, Johannesburg, and oh my God, it was just. The second episode, they go to Jordan, and they're put into a mock terrorism exercise, and they get killed, and Jeremy Clarkson's trousers gets pulled down whilst he's falling down a rope. Tell me that isn't one of the funniest things ever.
Yeah, it is amusing. I'm not going to deny
No,
that.
not music.
But
Funny.
yes, okay, funny. But is it really worth that amount of money to see
Yes.
that? What do you think, Toby?
All around, I think it's an interesting take on Top Gear because they have to do small, subtle differences.
Yeah.
But if I could put it into one word, what would you guys say in one word?
Power.
Rip off.
It's a fair thing. Okay, I believe we're done for Grand Tour and we're going to be talking about The Crown coming up next. So please join us after that. Welcome back to Chatterbox. Right now we're going to be talking about The Crown, Netflix's new fantastic show, and I believe we can play a small clip for you to begin with.
My name is Elizabeth.
And long live Queen Elizabeth.
Loving her, protecting her. She is the essence of your duty.
The Crown must win. Must always win.
And what we just saw there was the Crown's clip. Now, the show's getting mixed receptions, is the thing. It's got this huge budget, like, I think it's nearly $50 million per episode. And it's got this huge cast, but it's not got big flashy action sequences. It's not got these sort of explosions, car rides. It's very relaxed in its sort of tone. I want to know what you guys think of it. Like,
Well, of course you wouldn't get explosions because it's about the royal family.
sure.
I mean, I never knew that Prince Charles was in a cars chase.
Well,
Do you see what I mean? But I think, I don't know about the Crown because Matt Smith plays the Duke of Edinburgh, Prince Philip. And I don't know, every time I see him, it draws me back to him playing the Doctor. And I think he's one of them actors where, whether he likes it or not, no matter how hard he tries, he's going to be the Doctor, well, to me at least. It's the same thing with Daniel Radcliffe being Harry Potter and so on. And I just think it doesn't work. I mean,
you half expect a giant purple slug creature to come out of the floor and eat the Queen.
Yeah.
You know? It doesn't work. What do you think, Emily?
Well, just going back to what you said about it being mixed reviews, I think it's split between royalists and the people who hate the royal
Republicans.
family. You know what I mean? You're going to have the people who don't like the royal family. They're just not going to watch it, and the people who love the royal family, they want to know about this. But then it's also the case of it is history, and we start off the first episode in 45, so you know the end of the war. People will want to watch that. I think personally, Matt Smith did a great job. Yes, he will always be typecast as Doctor Who. People are going to remember him for that, but he's not the only Doctor Who. There are others. David Tennant, he's a well-renowned actor. He's a theatre actor. I personally saw him in a Shakespeare performance. He was brilliant. You know, there are people who can break out of that. And I think this might be Matt Smith's break here because I think he did a really good job playing Philip. His acting just on its own was brilliant. And I mean, personally, I'm not a huge fan of Doctor Who, so that will affect my view on it. But I think that he played a character so different to the one that he's previous played that I didn't even relate the two. I just saw him as an actor and playing a character, which is a difficult character to play because it is a real person.
I mean, yeah, that's the thing. It's based on the story of Queen Elizabeth II, who is not exactly like, you know, they've done like historic shows covering sort of, you know, historical figures. But this is the current Queen, you know, they've got to be respectful and they've got to really change it in the way they deliver it.
Yeah, but again, they're selling it too much. I mean, we've had Victoria on ITV recently. We've had the Tudors in the past. Now this. You think they're overselling the royal family into a drama series, which is, I don't know, I mean, yeah, fair enough. It's like it's on Netflix, which means it attracts a different audience to how it would if it was broadcast on the BBC and what have you. But at the same time, it's like it's been there, done it.
Well, I agree with that, but personally, I think it's a case of if you have something interesting where there are storylines, take them. You know, you've got so many films about World War II, World War I, whatever. That's not particularly a great topic because it was many people died, but there's so many war films. We've got Saving Private Ryan, like famous, iconic films, and there are TV shows as well surrounding that premise. So why not take something that's real, that did actually happen, that are real people, and turn it into drama? But yes, you are going to have to play things up. You are going to make them more exciting because real life it kind of has a lid of excitement. So whereas, with the Grand Tour, you've got these explosions because you can just do that. You have to keep this to the original storyline. But they did play up the relationship between Princess Margaret and one of the men who work in the palace. And there was an affair between them or something like that. But I personally hadn't heard of that before. But I think they have dramatised that more than it should.
If you were to describe it in one word, quickly, what would you say?
Royal.
Brilliant.
And that's all we have time for. Thank you, Luke, and thank you, Emily, for joining us. We'll see you next time for more opinions on Chatterbox. Goodbye.